How does one find out if they're eligible to receive child support, and how do they find out how much they have to pay? Is there an easy way to do that without going to a lawyer?
Yes and no. Sorry. There's two elements to child support. And the first piece is to determine where are your children living. And then everything sort of flows from there. And then that's step one. And step two is the determination of income. If you have someone who's incorporated or self-employed, if you're incorporated, you have to lift the corporate veil and see what's going on within the corporation. Because if I only need $200,000 to live, but I make $600,000, on my tax return it's going to show 2, but if you actually lift the corporate veil, you'll see that my actual income is much higher than the 200,000. So again, it's not a black and white answer. It's a, where are your children living? Our child support, federal child support guidelines will say, if you have primary residence of the children, that means 60% of the time, then it's really, for basic child support, it's really only the non-custodial parent's income that's relevant. Your income's relevant for what's called proportionate sharing of extraordinary expenses. So childcare required for a parent to work, medical and dental not covered by insurance, orthodontics, for example. So if the parenting schedule is such that it's considered shared under Section 9 of the federal guidelines, child support guidelines, that means if you, and this is important if you're counting nights, 6 nights out of a 14-day period is considered shared parenting. And that's where you have to look at both parents' incomes. And so number one, figure out your parenting schedule first, because that will determine whether you're setting off child support or not. What that means is, if my income's $100,000 and your income's $50,000 and we're sharing parenting, so whether it's 50-50 or 60-40, then money will flow from the higher income earner to the lower income earner, just by virtue of typically wanting to have comparable lifestyles in each household. So money flowing from one house to the other house to equalize the standards of living a little bit more. So that's one thing. Then it's determination of income. If you have 2 people who are T4 employees, it's very easy to go online and Google federal child support guidelines or British Columbia child support guidelines, and there's a quick calculator there. So if you share parenting and your income's 100 and your partner's is 50, you put both of those incomes in, you've got 2 children, you put that in, and you'll have your amount, let's say it's, for simplicity's sake, $1,200 a month, and you'll have your spouse's, let's say, $550, and then so there's a bit of money that will flow. Very easy for you to do under the federal child support guidelines. Typically, child support is reviewed annually or on request of a parent if there's a material change in circumstance. Again, the requirement to disclose a material change, like a change in a job, of course, people will always disclose if they've lost their job or if their income's gone down. It's usually the opposite, where there's non-disclosure, where someone's income has increased. But simplicity is really for those people who don't have complicated sources of income, really the T4 employee. Then it's easy to determine what the child support amount is. But key first is to determine where the kids are.